Vladimir Putin on Thursday ordered his army to observe a ceasefire along the entire line of contact between the parties in Ukraine on January 6 and 7, the first major truce since the start of the Russian operation in Ukraine. Despite this announcement, artillery duels continue on Friday. Russian Defense Ministry accused the Ukrainian armed forces of shelling Russian positions in Ukraine despite the decision.
Despite
the fact that the Russian military observed the ceasefire today, the Kiev regime continued shelling residential areas and positions of Russian troops.
Pentagon in turn said that the world was deeply skeptical about Russian President Vladimir Putin's call for a 36-hour ceasefire in Ukraine.
Understandably, I think that there's significant skepticism both here in the U.S. and around the world right now, given Russia's long track record of propaganda, disinformation, and its relentless attacks against Ukrainian cities.
Head of diplomacy of the European Union, Joseph Borrell, described the ceasefire announced by Moscow and Ukraine on the occasion of Orthodox Christmas as hypocrisy, judging it not credible.
The Kremlin completely lacks credibility, and this declaration of a desire for a unilateral ceasefire is not credible. We must see concrete things, we must see concrete actions on the ground on the part of Russia.
For his part, UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres said that peace in war-torn Ukraine was still not on the horizon, and that talks between Moscow and Kiev to bring the conflict to an end were not possible yet.
It is my belief that we are still far from a moment in which a serious peace negotiation is possible. At the present moment, I think it's important to do everything we can in order to minimize the negative impact.
The Russian truce is being offered less than a week after a Ukrainian strike on New Year's Eve left at least 89 people dead in Makiivka, which aroused criticism in Russia against the military command.